from his much-awaited sequel on the way to a possible cameo in Phase 5, Shang-Chi's MCU return might just be way sooner than you think, and here's how. So, as you know, the MCU has officially entered Phase 5. With Paul Rudd's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania finally out, folks over at Marvel Studios are now diving headfirst into their plans for the new era. And boy, am I excited. So far, there's around 7 films that have already been set up for Phase 5. We're already done with Quantumania, and now we've just gotta wait for the Guardians, the Marvels, Captain America: New World Order, as well as Thunderbolts, Blade, and Deadpool 3 to take the wheel. Sheesh, that's a lot of Marvel, you guys. But seeing how interconnected the MCU has now become with the introduction of the multiverse, I guess it'd be fair to assume that more characters from Phase 4 could frequently drop by in the MCU going ahead. I mean, Simu Liu's already hinted at his return soon, and I know we've already got Shang-Chi 2 in the works, but apparently the actor's gonna be making a cameo much sooner. In an interview with People, the actor opened up about how he sees his character crossing over with MCU names, cause like ever since his debut as the first Asian American superhero in the franchise, Simu's always admired other MCU actors and characters. In fact, he's often expressed how hard it is for him to contain his excitement to work with them, which is why he thought teasing fans about his return to the big screen was just what everyone needed to spice things up a bit. Of course, only Simu could get a kick from having a little fun like that, but in all seriousness, the actor said that fans might see something sooner than they think. This means that there's a pretty good chance that there's a Shang-Chi cameo on the way, and that fans are in no way prepared for what's about to hit them. But how exactly will this work out? Well, aside from Shang-Chi 2 and maybe Avengers: The Kang Dynasty that are still years away from coming out, there's not a lot of movies that make sense for him to come back in. But if given the cameos in Shang-Chi's movie itself, like Wong, Captain Marvel, and even Bruce Banner, I really think those are just a couple of Easter eggs that Feige set out for fans to notice. Cause you see, the way Simu teased his possible return implies that his next MCU appearance would be a little unexpected, so I genuinely don't think he's talking about his superhero sequel or even the Avengers movie for that matter. Plus, so far, all upcoming movies in the MCU can include Shang-Chi in some sort of capacity, but not all of them can weave Shang-Chi into their storylines. Like, take Deadpool 3 for example.
Let's count them down.
It doesn't make much sense to have Simu Liu's character cross paths with Wade Wilson. Sure, it would be totally awesome, but there's just not enough logic behind this cameo. I mean, even if you factor in the possibility of a variant or two.
7. Good Deadpool.
Deadpool's not the kind of movie you'd expect a dude with 10 rings to pop up in. Similarly, a cameo in Fantastic Four makes no sense either, because you see, the thing is, Fantastic Four is gonna focus on its 4 characters first, before it allows for cameos to help build their story. Plus, if they're actually gonna bring in Doctor Doom, or whatever antagonist Feige's planning to have, the movie's gonna have so much to accomplish in such little time, that I just don't see it happening, to be honest. The same goes for Blade 2, by the way. I mean, the movie's already got so much to do. Like Fantastic Four, the MCU will have to figure out a way to set him up. Plus, we're probably also gonna see the Black Knight in there too. So I don't think having Shang-Chi drop by to meet Eric makes any sense here either. Although, maybe we might just see him pop up in Captain America: New World Order. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but hear me out for this one. With the OG Avengers gone, well, some of them, it's understandable that Earth needs a new team of superheroes that can recalibrate to fight whatever's out there in the multiverse. And since we have a new Captain America in town, it also makes sense for a Shang-Chi cameo considering Sam Wilson's gonna be forming a new team of Avengers. Besides, are we seriously going to forget that post-credit scene? Like, remember those Easter eggs I talked about? Well, aside from Wong and Captain Marvel, the scene also featured Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner, who was examining the 10 rings, trying to figure out its origins. The three concluded it wasn't vibranium, nor was it Chitauri, but something completely different, unlike anything they've ever seen. In fact, Wong even mentioned how the Kamar Tai felt the 10 rings when Shang used them for the first time, so it makes sense that Shang-Chi might just find his way into the Avengers pretty soon. However, a Guardians 3 cameo seems pretty unlikely to me. You see, here's the thing. Sure, no one could quite figure out what the rings are made of, but I guess we can't really ignore the fact that there could be a galactic element to them. I mean, I'm not saying that Shang-Chi is gonna pop up in Volume 3 with Rocket and Groot by his side, but it's still possible, no? Plus, Simu said that he's returning to the MCU sooner than we think, and with Guardians coming out soon, I think this might just be the cameo he teased us all with. But then again, who knows? What if he's in the Thunderbolts instead? Sure, it's not exactly like either, but the Thunderbolts are such a weird bunch of characters that I don't think it'd be too far off to think that Shang-Chi would make his way there. Think about it. The Thunderbolts have got the likes of the Red Hulk, Deadpool, Elektra, Punisher, Agent Venom, and even Ghost Rider for some reason. So adding Shang-Chi to this odd bunch wouldn't totally surprise me, just like a possible cameo in the Marvels. This is perhaps the only one that makes the most sense to me, to be honest. I mean, Carol Danvers is literally one of the most omnipresent Avengers in the comics, and the fact that she's also met Shang-Chi kinda hints at a possible reunion in the future. Also, if you recall, we saw the emblem of the 10 rings in Miss Marvel not too long ago. Plus, I'm like 100% sure that there's definitely a connection between Kamala's bangle and the 10 rings, considering the Marvels is when we'll see her next. It's highly possible that Shang-Chi ends up crossing paths with both her and Captain Marvel once again, although I gotta state the obvious here too. Simu could just be talking about Shang-Chi 2 for all we know. I know I already ruled out that possibility, as well as Kang Dynasty, but maybe Simu's just messing around and Shang-Chi 2 is when we're gonna see the actor next. Do we have a release date though? Not really. For all we know, Shang-Chi 2 could just be one of 2 unclaimed dates in Phase 6, and considering how far that is, I guess I'm just going to stick with my Marvel's theory for now, and maybe you should too. There you have it. That's all for how Shang-Chi is going to make his MCU return.